You guys. So today I thought I would take out the camera and kind of show you like kind of like a day in the life / full day of eating for me right now. So today's a little bit weird because my car tire got really flat recently. So I have to go into Les Schwab and see what they can do about that. Thankfully, on Tuesdays I only have like one class, so I spent a lot of it doing homework anyways. I'm hoping I can be back in time for my tutor at 2, but yeah, I would just kind of like show you like what like a typical day of eating is for me right now. Like my macros are 200 protein, 415 carb, and 60 fat. I'm just reverse dieting out of like my really extreme mini cut, and like calories are still pretty low for me for how active I am, because I am, I'm 21 years old, I'm 6 feet tall, I am a really active kid. I get like 15K to 20K steps per day. I would train 6 days a week, and then I do cardio now 6 times a week. So it's still pretty low for me, but in that post-diet phase, my metabolism is going to be like a lot lower, and I'm more concerned about staying lean than I am like getting calories like as high as possible up like immediately. So this is kind of like where I'm at right now. But yeah, I don't really eat anything to just start out. I don't really like eating as soon as I wake up. I just like, there's some days when I do wake up hungry, but I never really have like this big urge to eat like a lot of food really ever. So basically what I had this morning was had like a little caffeine hit with like a Rockstar. So we used to be sipping on that, and then yeah, anyways, I'll check in with you guys when something interesting happens again. But hope you guys enjoy the video. See, that little tire action right there has to get fixed. Adult things. See, now Utah weather, right? It's like the worst thing in the world, especially in the spring, because yesterday it was like we had like all 4 seasons in one day. It was really nice and warm in the morning, so I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so this makes sense. I can wear shorts and whatever. But then like it started to like snow and then flurry, and then it started hailing and then raining again. And now today it wants to rain, and the weather is just a troll here, and it really annoys me. Like one of the reasons, like that's like the biggest thing I don't like about living here, is just the weather. Okay, so just spent about like, it took about honestly like 2 hours to get done. There actually turned out to be a hole in the tire, so I had to pay for that, which sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And now my car seems to be doing a lot better. This is actually, it's had like this freaking like low tire pressure light, and I was like, what the heck, how is that, like, how's it low pressure? I filled it up like 5 times. Apparently, that's why I had a hole. I didn't notice that. So yeah, don't have holes in your tires. It's optional for not having popping tires and whatever. Anyways, I am going to head back onto campus right now really quick. I have a chemistry recitation session at 1, and then a tutor after that. So I'll just kind of show you as the day goes along, but that's where we're at right now. Okay, and just because I'm not going to have like enough time or be able to like tell you guys exactly what I'm eating, I'll show you it, but I'll just say what it is right now. I'm gonna have like 2 protein bars, thing of beef jerky, and 2 like these Carb Master yogurts that you get from like Kroger that are like really high protein and lower carb, which is ideal because I'm reverse dieting, so hunger levels are still pretty high. I'll talk a little bit more about my dietary approaches and like things that I do a little bit later in the video. But yeah, I'll show you guys when I get in.
this one, the zinc is being turned into a cation, so the zinc is being oxidized. So, and if you were to take this and fit this with it, we've got copper already, so we'll just keep the copper. And then let's erase the zinc and replace it with
iron.
Okay. So this model still fits, right? Because we've got the same equation over here as we do down.
Okay, so it's just like a little bit of an update. I am basically just studying. I've been studying like all day for like basically like gonna be like 8 hours by the time I'm done. After I'm finished up with what I have to do, I'm going to head back to my apartment and get my pre-workout meal and then head out to go lift. So that's basically the update, and that's just kind of how like a lot of my days go, especially with how finals are coming up and whatever, and having a lot of tests this week. So just how it is. Okay, so just update. Weather still sucks, which is depressing. I want it to be sunny. I hate the dark, which is kind of weird though because I'm from Seattle. But like I feel like because I've lived here for the past like 6 years, I'm just so used to it. But whatever. But yeah, so I'm like super freaking hungry. I am going to go and make my pre-workout meal, and then I will show you guys that, and then I will head off to the gym, and probably a little bit later tonight I'm going to talk a little bit more about my diet and like why I choose certain foods and like my whole like mindset with nutrition and like nutrient timing and whatever. I don't know if I'm going to really film that much. I might show like one clip of like my bench, but tomorrow I have to have deadlifts, and I might be able to get my buddy to actually film me because like my friends kind of have like these weird schedules and they just change around a lot, so I can't really coordinate super easily. It's just how it is with school, with people with busy schedules and whatever. So anyways, I'm rambling as usual, but I am going to show you guys my next meal when it's ready. So this is basically like what I'm going to be eating pre-workout. It's kind of like a weird array of food, but like you gotta understand, I have to still keep my volume high because I'm still reverse dieting, and 3,000 calories is still super low for me. So I'm kind of having to eat higher volume foods still. So what I have here is I have just like some lettuce, like a bag of lettuce, a little bit of spinach because potassium and stuff. Some popcorn right here, and then this is just some pasta. So this is basically what I have. It's about 750 calories. But yeah, this is basically what I'm going to eat pre-workout and then wait a little bit, and then I'm going to head out to go train. Okay, so I basically finished eating, let it settle for a little bit. Right now I'm going to take my pre-workout and walk to my car and start my workout. Basically like pre-workout, my whole mindset with nutrition is I want to have something that's going to keep me full during my workout, and is going to mainly be composed of carbs, with some fat, just because I want to have like fat a little more spread out during the day. If I have it like one time, I get really bloated. I don't really like how I feel. And so yeah, I have some pre-workout right here, just one scoop, half scoop of 1UP nutrition. You can use my code PEELER for 20% off of that. But yeah, I'm just going to head out to the gym right now. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get of it, just because I'm going to be alone. But I'll show you guys whatever I have, and then I'll check in with you guys like after my workout. So. Alright, so I just finished up my workout. Honestly, one of the best push days I've had in a long time in terms of like a pump and like how well I felt throughout the whole thing. Despite like being super tired from school and whatever and being kind of sleep deprived, like that went really well. So my plan right now is to head home and then I have to go and do some more homework, but I'm going to eat first. I'll show you guys what I eat post-workout. And but yeah, training's going really well. Got hit a PR. You guys should have already seen that. I'll throw in a few clips from it. But yeah, I mean, reverse diet is still hard. Like I'm still hungry a lot, but like I'm slowly starting to feel more normal. Like it's amazing how much you notice like little changes when you get super lean with body composition or whatever. But anyways, I'll check in with you guys in the next clip. Okay, so I just got back. I am going to show you guys what I'm eating next. It's basically like my post-workout meal. It's like basically the bulk of my food for the day. So I don't really eat a ton during the day. So this is basically going to get most of my calories. So I'll show you what I have. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Right here I just have some spinach and egg whites with a little bit of barbecue sauce. Then I have quesadilla with tomato sauce and some eggs. Also, yeah, egg whites in there and that. Then 2 of these like little rice cake things. They're like called like rice stackers, basically the same thing as rice cakes. I'm trying to keep my fiber intake under control because coming out of the cut, it's really easy to like have too high of fiber because you're used to having like more fibrous foods, more veggies, whatever, and it's not really the best thing for your GI tract, for your digestive health. So you want to make sure that you're getting it around. I like to have it around like 10 grams for like 1,000 calories, 10 to 15 grams. So for me, like 45 grams of fiber per day is the max of what I want to have. So I'm going to choose less fibrous things from time to time, which is a little bit weird, but I feel way better. I'm not bloated, it's just like this bloating is not good. It's going to put stress on your whole body and impair like how you feel from day to day in your workouts. Like I was noticing like my ankles were like holding so much water, just because my fiber intake was just way too high. Anyways, back to the food. I have like 1 serving of cereal. There's like a sweet tooth. Then I have like these 2 sugar-free like gels, which are basically just 1 gram of protein each. Just something sweet. And then here I have a protein shake. But yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be eating. And put macros on the screen. Okay, so it's a little bit later. I am currently just cramming chemistry, physiology, like hard, like really hard, passionately hard. Just because I am way behind on it, and college is just a lot of strategic cramming and oh crap, I'm screwed. And then just having to study like crazy. So that's what I'm doing right now. But like, this is literally basically what I'm going to do until it's time for my next meal. But yeah, it's pretty late, but this is pretty normal for me. It's just how it is, just being busy. But yeah, checking with you guys on my last meal. Okay, so this is basically going to be my last meal. This is going to be 3 cups of oats, and this is about 230 grams of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and just like a little bit of a cheese wedge on the side. That's really what I'm going to have right before I go to bed. So that's basically a typical day of eating is going to look like for me. Again, like this is still pretty low for me, but it's part of the process, and you gotta just do it in order to stay lean. But yeah, so I'll probably segue from here into like why behind my nutritional choices. But like I'll put my macros I hit for the day up onto the screen. But yeah, that's basically it. What's up, guys? So I want to just really talk about my nutrition, like my whole thoughts behind it, whatever, because that's a question I get asked like all the time. You just saw like one of my full days of eating. I'll more or less kind of eat the same thing every single day just because it's just so easy. It's so I don't have to think about it. I'm really busy with school and with work and with having the right programs and all that stuff. So like the less variables I have, the better. Also, I think that I have a little more of a consistent look in the mirror, and like, I know how I'm going to respond to certain foods and like have better, more consistent workout performance, which really matters to me. But like first thing I want to talk about is like there are no such thing as good foods or bad foods. A lot of people have this misconception that foods have like some morality and that your small intestine has a brain. It's not the case. like there's the difference between like strawberries and Skittles is going to be the micronutrient content of those foods, like your vitamins and minerals, your vitamin A, vitamin C, stuff like that. Whereas Skittles are going to have, it's mainly just going to be energy. And then, so like I want to just get that out of the way first. Like I don't limit myself on any foods, but I do try to have most of my food choices be nutritious food, which you guys kind of saw. And then from there, I'm going to prioritize having proteins throughout the day. For myself, for meal frequency, I found that I like 4 times a day. It helps me feel the best, and I just work best off of that. And then I try to get my protein as evenly spread as possible in those 4 meals. So like, for example, I have 200 grams of protein to hit per day. I'm going to try to get more or less around 50 grams per meal. Now, it's not super important to like get that like exactly, but like I'll try to get it as close as possible. Studies have shown, again, that if you're going to have protein feedings of about 20 to 40 grams, is going to be about enough for most people. It's going to vary between like body weight and levels of lean mass and whatever, but generally within that range is pretty good. And then for like pre and post workout nutrition, I try to get the bulk of my food around that, just because my thought process is I'm eating for my performance primarily, and I'm going to want to have good workouts. Like my mood is like affected if I have a bad workout. I get all depressed and like, man, why did I come to the gym? I start questioning everything, and it's just not a good time. It's not a good vibe. And so I'm going to try to fuel myself around my sessions properly. And so I'm going to prioritize carbohydrates, pre-workout, have lower fats, because fats are going to slow down the uptake of other nutrients. And I want those carbs as fast as possible so I can have that energy to go and train. And then in terms of like protein, same thing, kind of moderate, just kind of get that, that leucine threshold, get that anabolic effect, those gains going. And then after my workout, I'm going to have, a pretty evenly mixed meal of protein, fats, and carbs. And then I kind of just fit in like the rest of my food in those 2 meals, those 2 other meals I have per day. And then in terms of like artificial sweeteners, I do consume like a decent amount of them, but for myself personally, I don't really get any adverse effects. I don't really have any bloating or anything like that, so I don't really worry about it too much. Also, you have to have a lot of artificial sweeteners to have any bad health effects for like a really long time. Like I think that the number is like 100 packets of stevia or like sucralose per day to like have that effect. So like you have to be really trying to like do that. Like plus like if you're doing that, you need to go see a therapist. Like that's just weird. But and then from there too, in terms of veggies and fruits, I need to do better about my fruit intake. I'm not super good at it. That's mainly just because of finances. It's expensive to have it, but like I need to do better at that. Like that's something that I realize. I need to have like more fruits. Like even though I do get plenty of vegetables per day, I do need to get improvement in my fruit game. And then in terms of vegetables, for myself, I found personally that I can only really handle like leafy greens like spinach and like some like lettuce. There's like other vegetables like cauliflower and broccoli and asparagus and like any like cruciferous vegetables, they have this enzyme in them called raffinose, which will make you really gassy and bloated. So for myself personally, that like, I don't respond very well to it, so I'm not going to incorporate that in my diet. It just doesn't make me feel good. But in terms of, and then like for like supplements per day, like I generally take a pre-workout, creatine, and protein, all from like One Up Nutritionist, because that's my sponsor. And I don't really take more than that just because there's no real need to. But like basically, like you don't need to overcomplicate nutrition. Like you can get complicated if you really want it to be, but for most people, the biggest things that they should focus on are the things I focus on. Finding a meal frequency that works for you, that you enjoy. That's 2 meals per day, great. That's 6 meals per day, great. Do it. Consume adequate protein, 1 gram per pound of body weight. Spread that out as evenly as possible as you can throughout the day. Have your fats at a healthy place. Generally 0.3 to 0.4 grams per pound of body weight is going to be healthy for your hormone levels. And then fill in your carbs as you want. Higher carbohydrate diets are going to be better for people that weight train, just because it's going to be it's the primary source of fuel for that type of activity.
And then, yeah, like, that's really basically it. But you guys enjoyed the video, and I kind of get a little bit of an insight into like what I eat per day. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell your dog that it was great. Show a baby, maybe make it laugh. But yeah, you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one.